All right. If we're all set, I take a last look at the black, green, and blazing brazier. Go to the front of the door.
Was that a die? You hear the sound of the booming sound echoing through the cave. Mr. Mormesk does, in fact, float through the south wall, straight through it. You see him paying particular attention to the brazier, as he's almost subconsciously floating towards it.
I'm looking at my companions because I'm not kicking this off because I don't want to be that guy.
Excuse me, Mormesk. Any response?
He's staring sort of just directly at it, getting closer and closer.
Yeah, what are you doing there, friend?
Forward.
Fuck it. Eldritch Blast. I won't be that guy. Do you want us to roll for initiative, Ian? In the meantime?
Yes.
I'm a 17.
Be an 8.
I got a 9. And Trog will be 13.
As you guys see this weirdly solid but still incorporeal wraith slowly, sort of hungrily gazing at this flame, slowly gliding towards it. Kid, you are up first.
I don't trust him, and I'm just going to blast Eldritch Blast. Very nice. First is a 25 to hit.
Yep.
And second is a natural 1.
Nope.
And for the first one, that is 16 points of damage, fire and force damage. And with my movement, I'm going to. Do I have room to place myself between the brazier and him?
No, you can't really squeeze it between. You basically can't get onto the square that he's in currently because he takes up half of it. The brazier basically takes up the other half.
Okay, I understand. In that case, seeing Arch is somewhat close to me here, I'm going to move in front of him to give him some partial cover. And that's where I'm going to hold my action.
That brings us to Mr. Mormesk, who, after getting hit by you, is going to sort of tear his gaze away and look directly at you and sort of move closer to your way. So basically, he's going to stare directly at you. And he's gonna do almost somewhat like a lazy swing in your direction. But you notice as his sort of hand, claw, whatever you want to call it, swings your way, it's sort of glowing this sickly green color. No. And that is going to be 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving.
Okay, that's a 17.
17, okay, so you pass. But you are going to take 12 points of necrotic damage.
Fuck. And that's with me passing that. Shit. All right.
Which brings us to Trog.
Trog will enter the room, looks at Mormesk, and will cast Vicious Mockery.
Well, yeah, Derek, what's he say?
Do I have to say it immediately?
Well I guess we'll see we'll see how successful it is first.
No, you got to mock him first.
Say Mormesk. You look kind of like a failed character off of Mortal Kombat. You pussy.
That didn't sound like Trog at all.
It didn't.
It was like Moony maybe acting like Trog.
That's a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yes.
16.
Yeah, that saves. That's it then.
In which case, we're up to Moony.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Shit.
Moony is going to take out his Lightbringer. Is that what it is? Lightbringer. And
Yes.
charge from the door at Mormesk.
I will say you have identified Lightbringer. Oh no, Lightbringer's a weapon. Does it say it requires attunement?
Doesn't say anything about attunement.
Okay, then you're fine.
Although,
you'll get
before
the
I go
full
to
effect.
attack, I will turn it on. I don't know how it works, but so it's glowing now.
Turn it on. You're stroke the
Yes.
shaft.
I just
I believe.
I just slap the top of it a bit.
Yeah, you can basically. I didn't
But I
write.
turned mine on too.
I'm gonna say you can do that as your free action, basically,
Okay.
to turn it on. slap the hood of Lightbringer.
Ooh, thank goodness it's a magic weapon. That's 18 to hit.
That's
Ooh.
it.
That will be 12 points of damage.
So you guys see Moony sort of slap the head of this mace that looks like sun breaking out of the clouds as it glows, illuminating the room as if by torchlight. And he swings it, and even though Mormesk is incorporeal, it makes a very solid thud as sort of sparks of light shoot off from where it made contact with this undead creature. And you can sort of hear this almost like sizzling sound as Mormesk sort of screams out in pain. And that brings us to Archie.
I'm going to step out from behind Kid. I'd like to come around. You said each square is 10 feet, right?
Each square is 10
Oh.
feet. Yeah.
I would like to scurry around there. And once I do, I'd like to fucking just double knife stab old Mormesk in the back.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll me a tackle.
The first one is a 22.
That hits.
Okay. The second one is a natural 20.
That also hits.
The first one does 5 points of damage. And the second one is 18 points of damage.
18 points of damage, okay. Well, you do swing out your daggers. You do hit him twice. They do... You sort of... With your daggers, you sort of pass through his body. And it feels somewhat solid. And even with your second attack, which does strike and does feel, like it connects, it does feel with your daggers, maybe it's not doing as much damage as you would expect.
Right, so this isn't going the way I planned. I'm going to use my... Oh, fuck, I can't. I just used my bonus action. Son of a bitch. All right, I'm just going to stand there.
Oh, we're back up to Kid.
Yep. Double finger guns. Eldritch blasting. Anyway, I started blasting. Okay, that is a 15.
15 does not hit.
Okay, and a 19 on the second.
That hits.
Okay, and that is 14 points of damage. I'm gonna stay where I am.
All right, the one blast sort of looks like it passes right through him, but the second blast hits him kind of square in the chest.
And actually, as a bonus action, I'm going to do Second Wind and get back, hopefully, a little bit of health because, ouchies. That is 8 points back.
Okay. Back to Mormesk. Mormesk is now sort of warily up this glowing mace that Moony's holding. And he's going to sort of look over and stare directly at you as he moves forward to take a swing at Moony. And again, it's a sort of same almost lazy clawing swipe that comes out with this swirling, stickly green miasma around it. 19 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
That's a nat 20.
Okay, you're fine then. You do take 16 points of necrotic damage. And that'll be his turn, which brings us back to Trog, who is now maybe here.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh,
The legend.
that was great timing. It's your turn. We're all dying. We need you.
Okay. One second. Vicious mockery. Owls are stupid.
He only rolled an 8 on his wisdom.
You did it! If you fucking kill this guy, like just coming in.
Are you? Did you go pee, my guy? You gotta have like a little tiny bladder. I mean,
All right, give me a damage roll for that.
3.
We see that he pees just a little.
More than just that, as these words sort of ring out and echo the walls, he sort of turns to look at Trog, and he almost starts to take a step, will glide in his direction, as wisps of smoke and this sort of incorporeal form that he sort of starts to fly off him, and almost as if there's like a very large gust of wind that's blowing around like remains scraps of parchment and broken little stones and stuff. This large gust of wind, almost similar to when you had entered his room the first time. This whirlwind that came out. There's almost a similar whirlwind as Mormesk is whisked away and disappears with a large thunk. That chest that was sort of contained in his chest cavity falls to the ground.
Are you fucking
kidding me?
Yeah, you left him with 2 HP.
I fucking hate this game. I fucking hate this goddamn game.
That could have been me. But of course, it's Ty. So Ty, I took over. I did one vicious mockery and failed immediately.
I make a note every time you insult someone to death now, and that it has now been added to the list. What the fuck?
This was a named character too. It wasn't just like Goblin number 6.
Right. I guess we're gonna have to give you a fucking nickname. The fucking I don't know. We gotta fucking. This has become a thing, right? Am I missing something here? Like, what the fuck?
Trog the cunning linguist.
Oh, the master debater.
All right, I'm gonna walk over to the chest, and is it locked?
It looks like it might have had a lock at one point. It's sort of like this metal chest that's scorched and sort of twisted. There is sort of a lock on it, but it doesn't look like it's really locking much anymore.
All right, I'm going to open it up.
Okay. With a little bit of fiddling, you're able to sort of wrench open this melted chest. Inside this chest, you see 1,100 copper pieces, 160 silver pieces, 3 smallish diamonds, which, if you want to make a note of this, in case you use them for spellcasting purposes, they're 100 gold each. You find a wooden pipe that is sort of adorned with this platinum filigree. And you find a chunk of ore. It's black ore, sort of blackish blue, that has these sort of green streaks running through it. And when you pick it up, it's a bit strange. It feels simultaneously cold and warm.
Do I find a pair of underwear?
Should I forget about that? Yes. And you also find this. You also have the silence scroll as well that Moony had given.
I'm gonna pass out I'm gonna keep a diamond. I'm gonna pass out a diamond to Trog and to Archie, and then I'm gonna hand the underwear to Moony. Hey, I found something I think you might like.
Yes, thank you. I was so worried about it.
You do notice it's a little bit singed from when you had last seen it. And it has a strange musty smell.
Looking at this diamond, does it look like it would fit in the mouth of the lion that is on my pendant?
Yeah, probably. It wouldn't be like secure. You'd have to like glue it or something, yeah. Or whatever you do the jewelry.
I'm gonna hold up the silence scroll. I'm gonna hand this off to one of y'all if you want it eventually, but I think I've figured out something with my arch with you know who, the one who gives me the, and I kind of make a little fire in my hand.
All right, your sugar daddy.
I might be able to learn this spell off of this scroll and be able to use it as a ritual spell, but I got to take some time to do that. So if it's cool with you all, I might just hold on to it until then, and then whoever wants it at that point can have it.
Yes, go ahead. I mainly just used it to trade.
All right. And Moony, I didn't give you one of these diamonds, but if one of us goes down, do you have a spell, or is there something that you can do to bring one of us back? And if so, would one of these help you?
Yes, there is. And I would need one, actually.
Well, I'll give you mine.
I just glance at it as the light is beaming off. Oh boy, okay. And I'll shove it inside my satchel.
And there's a pipe in here also. If one of y'all want it, I mean, I kind of would like it, but if one of y'all would rather have it, that's okay with me. It was the wooden pipe.
Oh, the pipe.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pocket it.
Unless it's got magic. It's got magic on it.
We'll just divvy up the rest of the stuff. I'll hold on to that ore then too, just because I'm planning on visiting a blacksmith anyway. I might be able to get some info off of it.
Can you roll me a perception check as you handle that ore?
That, my friend, is an 8. I'm not very perceptive.
An 8. Yeah, never mind. You don't notice anything.
Yeah, I'll just pocket it for now. I'm not really going to say much about it.
Does anybody else need healing besides me?
I could use a little bit if you have some to spare.
Yes, I'm going to cast Aura of Vitality. So whoever's next to me heals 9 points of damage.
Thank you.
I will
'Cause
take that.
I need it
I am
too.
back up to full. All right. Well, I still don't like this brazier sitting here. We could probably figure out what's going on at some point, but more than that, we should probably just keep on moving on and take care of this black spider problem.
Hey, DM, looking around the room, is there any
Yes.
discarded weapons or anything like that? Like anything just kind of shitty?
I mean, there is some rusted, pitted sort of scraps of metal. It would be hard to call them weapons at this point.
Because I'd like to pick one up, kind of walk over to the brazier. I'm going to stick it in the fire.
Alrighty. So you can find what looks like it maybe at one point with a sword. Some kind of bladed weapon. Rusted and falling apart with, the hundreds and hundreds of years that it has probably been discarded. And as you hold it over the brazier, the greenish black flames are kind of licking up. And you hold it there for roughly a minute until you pull it out. And it seems it still has this sort of greenish black shine to it, this hue. And you are now in possession of a magic shard of whatever.
Was it sharp or hot, rather?
No, it doesn't feel sharp. It doesn't feel hot to the touch.
All right, fuck it. I'm going to take out one of my daggers and I'm going to stick that in there and see what happens.
Okay, same thing. You stick it in. You let the flames sort of lick up at it. Keep it in there for a minute. Could you roll me a D12, please?
Yeah. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. So 1.
A 1?
A 1.
Okay, so you pull the dagger out, and it sort of looks like that old discarded former weapon, where it has this strange, almost green and black hue to it. And so since you rolled a 1, your dagger is now a +1 magic dagger for the next 1 hour.
Nope.
Well, seeing Archie do this twice and there being no negative consequences, Kid's gonna pull out his longsword and do the same thing.
Yes, and then go ahead and roll me a d12.
Did we just find the fucking what was it called in zombies?
Like a punch?
Yes.
A 6.
6, okay, so same thing. But now yours is +1 for 6 hours.
Looking at this brazier, does it look like we could pick it up?
I mean, it's pretty solid stone. You've not tried to move it. It's on like a pretty hefty looking stone pedestal.
What is like the flame contained in?
Like a stone bowl, basically. So there's sort of like this. You can kind of see off to the left there. There's sort of stairs leading up to it.
Right.
And so there's this sort of like square carved pedestal on top of which sits like another stone carved bowl, and the fire is inside the stone bowl.
Okay.
If I look inside, is there wood or anything to burn, or is it just this necrotic flame?
You don't see any wood inside. You just see the fire.
Standing close to it, like I was when I stuck my... Is there any heat coming off of the flame?
No, there's not.
No. I was about to do the same thing.
I'm gonna
Like,
stick my hand
kids'
in the
quest
fire.
for power. I was literally about to do that, so I got glad that you did it before I did.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
16.
So you stick your hand in, and you leave it in there for like a minute. There's no heat, but all of a sudden you feel this almost like sharp pain in your hands. And since you rolled pretty good, you're going to take 2 points of necrotic damage and sort of jerk your hand back out. And you can sort of see that black and green. It lingers for a second around your exposed skin, and sort of burns it. It's not like a burn, but it sort of burns away the outer layer of your skin in this necrotic sort of damage.
Yeah, would not suggest putting your fucking hand in it. I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know why I'm fucking with magic. We need to get the fuck away from
Kid
this thing,
slowly
boys.
pulls his hand back. Well, all right. Yeah, I think we should just leave this here and keep on moving on.
Right, yeah, I would imagine, do these doors lock? Or any way we can secure this room without, I don't know how I feel about just leaving it fucking just sitting here.
Yes, lock or maybe put a sign on top. Please do not touch.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, no touchy.
I mean, now you have an actual use for magic.
Yeah, that's true. I can cast it as a ritual spell. So for the next 10 minutes, Kid is actually just going to put right at the door. So like if we all walk out, so if someone steps in front of the door, I want to make it sound like it's the spectator's voice, and just say, "Beware, leave this place," something like that, and then just repeat it.
Roll me a performance check.
Yeah, that's fair. 14.
It's a pretty passable impression of the spectator.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Kid's reminded of the time he was out on the dock, and he was Phil Dupa, and he is missing his acting times, so he gets really into it. All right, we should get out of here.
Yeah, we should probably keep moving on. I feel like there's a lot more to this fucking place than these two jackasses.
Yeah, I mean, they had nothing to do with why we were here. I mean,
Right,
not
yeah.
really.
Yeah. So
All right.
I'm gonna just walk out.
Yep. Same marching order as before, I guess. I'm just gonna move up and see what we see here and keep going.
So what you guys can see as you continue up this way, you have this other path to your west, which looks like it was handmade, right? The carved stone again. This path that goes up to the north is more of the natural cave walls.
Kid's just gonna keep moving right. Derek, what's happening?
No, I just zoomed out on the map and I was like, there's so much more.
It's very big. Yep.
You guys are literally only about a quarter to a third. You've only seen like a quarter to a third.
Oh my good lord.
And what is this, like session 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, heading to the right.
So the closer you guys move up this cavern on the right, again, every 2 minutes that rhythmic boom, and it's almost deafening as you come up on the right here.
Who is directly behind me? Trog?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a hand back and just kind of pat you wherever I end up touching, and I'm going to cast guidance just for the sake of it, because you're the closest. And I'm going to peer around this corner.
So you look around this corner, and what you see is a pretty large cavern. You can't see across the whole thing because, again, there's not really, any natural light. But you do see what looks like this narrow ledge that's overlooking this large cavern. And again, this rhythmic booming is very, very. And if you stand there for a few minutes and wait and watch, you'll see that every 2 minutes there's this fresh surge of water that is getting funneled into this chamber and slamming up against the wall that is just below this ledge, making this very large echoing boom.
What do I see when I look up at the ceiling?
Ceiling is the same as it was before. It's
Okay.
about 20, 25 feet high.
Okay. But no ledges or anything that looks like something could drop down on us on our way through?
I mean, there are stalactites up there. They don't look any more precarious than the rest that you've seen.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the echoing from this cavern actually also, it sort of suggests to you that this might just be one part of a larger cavern.
Okay. Being as quiet as I can and gesturing for the guys to do the same, I'm going to creep over, not right to the ledge, but close enough where I can maybe get a better view of what's happening in here.
Okay, so you can see the water surging. Basically, this ledge, from what you can see, is going to be roughly 15 feet above the water level. But every time the water surges, the water level comes up about 10 more feet, so only about 5 feet when the water is surging. And then after about a minute or so, the water sort of returns to its original depth.
All right. And looking around the ledge on the left side of this, how does that path around look? Does it look like it's intact? Like if we crossed it, that it wouldn't give on our way out?
Roll me an investigation.
If there's one thing Kid is good at, it's not that. 15.
I mean, it's narrow, but it looks solid.
I'm just going to keep moving, going around and following that ledge around.
When the wave recedes, I don't know if you said this when I went to the bathroom, but what does the ground look like?
It looks like it's a normal stone cavern. I mean, there's sort of like gravel and crushed rock as the wave slams against the wall and knocks stuff loose.
But when it goes out, is it completely dry when it goes out, or is there still water?
No, so the water is basically, so when the water is out, you can't tell how deep it is from where you were. But when the water is out, it's about 15 feet below you. And when the water surges, it's only about 5. So there's always water at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep moving.
Okay, so you guys can go up, and you see this pathway is fairly narrow, and it's quite low. It's maybe barely 4 feet high, and it's sort of obstructed by boulders and pebbles. It looks like it might have at one point been some kind of stream bed that feeds into this cavern, although there's no water here now. So especially for a kid and Moony, you're gonna have to crouch, almost crawl to get through this.
Hey, Archie, do you want to take lead through here? Just because if we encounter something and I'm kind of hunched over, it might not be as effective as if you go through quietly. See what's on the other side there.
Yeah, I'll sneak on through there. That's what I'm for, right? Just fucking send the little guy in little places. Archie's gonna saunter off to the front and then just kind of sneak on up. I want to be like super stealthy.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, go ahead and, well, not yet. Let's see how far forward you go first. You see the edge. Well, you see the edge of the cavern, and what looks to be like some kind of ledge at the end. So you're on a raised, basically. So if you crept up to the ledge, you would be looking down. You can't see how far, but you can see the ledge there.
Can I? Ooh, I want to be stealthy. Can I be real stealthy and sneak up to the?
You sure can if you roll me a stealth check.
Okay.
And I want to be behind Archie, but like far enough away where I can maybe still spot him or know that, like, sense that he's up there, but not like go all the way.
Hey, kid, you wouldn't have done anything before I started off through that tunnel, right?
Wouldn't. Oh, yeah. I cast guidance on Archie as I.
Wait a minute. That seems fishy.
But I wouldn't have. I should have.
That's all right. That's a 14 for my stealth check.
Okay. All right. So are you creeping up basically just to the ledge then?
Yeah, just sneaking.
Okay. I'm gonna put you there so I remember. You're gonna be right there.
Very specifically, I'm hugging this wall here to prevent anyone from seeing me that way. I think that's what I would do.
So you're basically right now about 10 feet above this cavern, 10 to 15 feet. And you can just barely see across. There's sort of like this rift in the cavern, right? And so across, you can also see another ledge. You can sort of make out the outline of it. That also appears to be about the same height that you are. So about 10 to 15 feet. You do see this stream that's coming down over the ledge. It's sort of coming over this west wall, down at the rift, and then it's flowing out again through like a small opening in the north there. You see this very, it looks almost like a well. And it's this sort of black hole. And attached to it are almost like a crane. You can see like ropes and pulleys. There's iron stakes sort of secured around it, holding things down. And you do see as well you see three bugbears who are sort of, it almost looks like they're looking for something almost. And you do see them sort of skirting almost very nervously around this hole.
They don't like the hole.
They don't like the hole. They look like they're trying not to get that close to it. And as you see them appear to be looking around, you also can just make out, not necessarily make him out, but you can hear him calling down to the bugbears from up on this western ledge here, where he says, "Keep looking, or the spider will have your head."
Ooh. That hole. I know I'm not up there yet, but does it look like a man-made looking well, or?
It does look man-made, but it also looks very, very old. It doesn't look like it was recently dug.
I'm gonna just real quiet, like back up, try to sneak my way back to my compatriots.
Yep, you can get back there.
Right. So, and I'm gonna describe everything that I saw.
Yeah.
How deep did that hole look like?
Right. Yeah. So I'm not a whole expert. A whole expert. Yeah. There we go. So I would say fucking probably somewhere between really deep and deeper than a motherfucker. So the hole's not really the big problem, I don't think. I mean, I imagine there is something to do with the hole, but right now I think we should probably focus on the drow and three bugbears that are fucking just kind of wandering around, clearly looking for something. And the drow fella, he did reference the spider. Just going out on a limb on this one. Hear me out. Crazy thought. He's probably talking about the black spider, the fella or lady fella, right? That we're looking for.
How tall is that's a ledge? How tall is that to get down to where they are?
About 10 feet.
Well, do we just want to go in guns blazing, or what are we thinking?
Right. So it's probably best to take the guy that's on our level out first, and then attack the bugbears. Because you don't want to give up the high ground. I'm going to shoot an arrow. One of them poison boys.
All right, let's all roll initiative.
16.
I rolled a 20.
14.
In fact, put Archie at the top of the initiative.
Alrighty. You already know what I'm doing.
That's true. Roll the hit.
18 to hit.
18 does hit.
30 points of damage.
Archie shoots out an arrow, goes straight across this gap, strikes his drow. It almost passes clean through his shoulder. As he looks up and cries out in pain, and all the bugbears sort of start turning around to look where that arrow came from. Trog, you're up.
I got a 16 to hit, sending the crossbow.
16 also hits.
All right. Do you want to do a Constitution? Because I have the poison on my arrow.
Yes. This time it is an 11.
All right. He fails, so he takes 7 points from my crossbow and 5 points from the poison.
Again, this almost half a second after this first arrow shoots out, you hear as Trog shoots off his crossbow, almost striking him sort of right in the other shoulder. And as the poison takes hold, you can see almost this small sort of trickle of foam in the corner of his mouth. He's still standing, but he looks unhappy. He's surprised, which means it's him.
On the ground he is standing on, going to cast Bonfire.
Okay.
And he needs to roll a dexterity saving throw.
23, yeah. Then if that is your turn, we are at Moony.
I start taking a running leap from the tunnel. Before I make my jump, I cast Frostbite on the drow. That is a 21 to hit.
Oh, yes,
Oof.
that hits.
Get wrecked, son.
It takes 4 points of damage, cold damage, and has disadvantage on its next weapon attack roll.
It doesn't because it dies.
Good.
Bitch.
And actually, you've seen this before in Cragmaw Castle. It doesn't just die; it sort of melts into this strange waxy pile of goo.
Oh shit! Another changeling.
Another changeling. Dope.
But he is on the ground, not moving.
Something tells me that the black spider is also a changeling. Just
Yeah, like it's really weird. It's weird with their cosplaying and stuff.
The drow connection. I'm sure we'll unveil it, or we won't, because we're really good at that too.
At killing things and
not. Yeah, fuck it. Just kill it.
Really good about not knowing what's going on.
we're really good at that too.
Well, as I cast Frostbite and I see this thing disappear, I'm a little confused, but I take my jump and cast Combat Wild Shape, bonus action. So I'm going to restore 6 hit points, and I'm going back to the normal. I transform into a dire wolf as I'm just staring at the 3 bugbear.
Which one are you landing? Are you just landing at the bottom of the ledge, basically?
Just
So, like,
right there.
Oh, sorry, right there. Okay,
It doesn't matter to me. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, you guys see Moony sort of squeeze his way past Archie and Trog, and I mean, you all kind of have to admit it's pretty cool as he sort of shoots off this this icy sort of mist that slams the drow, who you now know is a doppelganger, causing him sort of to fall apart and collapse to the ground. And you swear it almost looks like he winks at you as he transforms into a wolf on the way down and lands at the bottom of this ledge. And that brings us back to the top of the initiative, which is Mr. Bugbear over here. And this Bugbear, you notice, is wearing a pretty stylish, well-made pair of leather boots. You sort of
Not
see
for
him.
long.
You sort of see him take a step back, and he basically just jumps and lands like right here on the other side of this Bugbear. And then using the rest of his movement, he's going to come up here and get into Moony's direwolf base. This one is wielding this sort of this wooden club with iron spikes on it, sort of like a crude morning star. He's going to take a swing at Moony, which is not great. A 6.
That fails.
Yeah, so it doesn't miss. So he jumped after this big giant leap. He seems sort of stumbles a bit as if he's not used to doing that. And as he swings, you're able to sort of move your head out of the way. Which brings us to Archie.
All right, so I would like to put an arrow in the face of this one. The one that's kind of like right in front of me. So the first one is that would be a 26 to hit.
That's it.
Okay, so let me roll, because I have advantage. It might crit.
Yeah.
It doesn't. 16 points of damage.
Well, this arrow shoots him. You strike it. He sort of tries to lift his shield up, but you manage to sneak it in around, sort of striking him in the center of his chest. And then you see that trickle of foam at the corners of his mouth as you notice the poison start to take effect. And now it's Krog's turn.
The bugbear that is south of the well, I'm gonna cast command on him.
Right. Is that a wisdom saving throw?
Yep.
16.
He passed. I am going to use my lucky action to have him roll another one.
No. You son of a bitch. 4.
4?
You motherfucker.
Jump.
You see his eyes sort of glaze over. No, I won't be that mean. You see his eyes glaze over as you see the spell taking effect. It does seem as if, like, in some kind of way, he's trying to fight it. But you see him sort of slowly, jerkily move over to this hole and just jump in.
Just yeets himself in.
Disappears from sight. No scream, nothing. It's a bit eerie that way, as the magic sort of forces him to do this thing. It doesn't feel good. And since he's gonzo, that brings us to Kid.
I'm going to pull out my longsword, rush between the two of them. Do I think I can jump off and land on Bugbear 7?
You can try it. Give me an athletics. You're gonna take fall damage from the.
That is okay. I rolled a 21.
Yeah, you can land on. You'll land on. You are gonna take. Whoops, that's like not a d6. You're gonna take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. As will he.
That's fine.
You guys will take equal amounts of bludgeoning damage.
Cool. And as I'm going down, I'm swinging this longsword, and I rolled a 19 to hit.
19 just hits.
Oh, that's lame. That's only 9 points of damage. 6 of slashing and 3 of fire. Movement, I'm going to get to kind of the north side of him almost, just to put him between myself and the well.
Right, okay. So Kid jumps off. The bugbear does manage to sort of bring his shield up this time as you almost like shoulder charge into it. And you can, You got a pretty bruised shoulder yourself, but you can sort of hear almost like the crunching of bone as you smash into his shield arm, while in the same motion swinging your sword around and slashing him across the chest does a little bit of fire damage, slightly singes him as it cuts across. Still standing. But you can see now he's breathing quite heavily. His shield arm is seems broken, sort of dangling at his side almost. Moony, you're up.
I'm going to go after Bugbear 6. We'll do a bite attack. 19 to hit. It's number 6.
19 hits.
That is 11 points of piercing damage. And it will need to do a strength saving throw.
14.
Okay, it passes. He is not knocked prone. And I'm going to do the same thing as the kid. And if I can move a little bit west of him.
It's a bit of a squeeze, but you sort of muscle your way in and sort of force him a bit closer to the...
just so I'm not closer. Yeah. I'm all set then.
So Moony lashes out with his teeth, sort of latching onto this bugbear's arm. It does almost knock him off his feet, but he's just able to catch himself and stay standing as he sort of throws you off a bit, and you circle around him. It is his turn, so he's going to counterattack with that same sort of crude morning star against Moony. That is going to be a 19 with misses.
Yep.
So as you circle around him, he sort of almost backhand swings towards your face. And you are going to take 15 points of piercing damage.
Oof, meaty.
Bugbears get this really cool ability called Brute, which means they get to deal 1 extra die of the weapon's damage.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
for them.
You guys haven't been hit by the bugbears that much, but when they hit you,
Yeah.
it hurts.
We've had a previous fight with one where they were kicking the shit out of us. I remember that.
That's true.
Yeah.
But anyway, this time it catches you sort of right on the side of your head as he backhands you with the Morning Star, and he is also similar to you, gonna not leave your range, but he's gonna take some movement to get out from the hole, having watched his comrade just yeet himself into it. Archie, you're up.
What if he's actually still alive? It's only like 5 feet down. Guys, help me.
To be fair, now that it did get to his round almost, now that the spell is almost wearing off, you don't hear a thud, but you can hear almost faint screaming. It's only been 6 seconds.
True, yeah.
But that's fucking far.
That's a
So
no.
long.
9.8 meters per second.
Yeah.
6 seconds in the air.
By the way, Archie, you're up.
I'm gonna put an arrow into the last one I put an arrow in last time. Natural 20. So 24 points of damage.
Oh, he's not dead, but he is dead.
He's dead. He's not player character dead, but he's
not player character dead, but he's monster dead.
He monster dead. Okay.
Yeah, by quite a hefty margin. You were close, to be fair.
Nice. That could have just been a better dice roll because I got a 1 and a 2 on my d6s.
You feel the rush of wind go past your ear as another arrow strikes, and he sort of just collapses onto the ground in a pile of bugbear.
As a bonus action, yell out, "Boy, maybe we should save one of these fuckers and find out what they're looking for." Just a thought.
Trog, you're up.
Vicious Mockery.
Fuck.
Trog, give a fuck. A 1.
Oh, he takes 7 points of damage, and my guy, at least you're a little bit smarter than your friend, but not too much smarter. You might want to go back towards that hole.
As your words reach the bugbear, his eyes sort of cross in pain. He's not dead.
I was going to say, I will fucking quit. I will turn off, just rage quit. Want my table. And
When we
leave.
kill the black spider.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real mad if that actually happens. Like big mad.
Like a big bad.
Kid, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna shrug my shoulders, just like, or slump my shoulders, just because I really wanted to push my guy into the well, and Arch just fucked up everything. So I'm very sad. And with non-lethal damage, I'm going to put my sword away, pull out my finger guns, and blast this guy who's fighting with Moony here.
You can only non-lethal with melee weapons.
Well, that's unfortunate. So it was a 19 on the first.
Okay, that hits.
and only an 8 on the second. The first one does actually 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. It does strike him center mass as he sort of smacks into the wall behind him, and he's dead.
Fuck.
He's dead, Jim. Right, yeah, I'll just go fuck myself next time.
I mean, I have a diamond now, so I could revive him.
You're a wolf. You can't say that.
I am a wolf. Bark, bark.
Bark, bark.
You know, that traditional sound a wolf makes.
I was trying to non-lethally shoot him in the chest with my fire magic.
Right, yeah, at the end of the day, fuck it. Who really cares?
I'm gonna check the body of the bugbear that I killed. Is there anything good on it?
Nah, just I mean, he's got that shield. It just his weapon.
All right, I throw him in the well.
Okay.
And I want to listen.
Creepily enough, as you roll the bugbear towards the well, you're not sure, but you do think you almost hear the faint sound of screaming.
Holy shit! All right, well, I throw this one in too. That way you can have company.
Looking around, is there a sturdy rock or... Boy, kid, you want to fucking catch me or something?
Why don't you just climb down? It's 10 feet.
I'm going to climb down then.
You want me to do the dirty dancing?
I'm real light. You would be able to catch me and throw me.
Oh, I could, but I'll just let you climb.
You just toss him right back up.
Let's scamper down. Just neat. Also, can you imagine somebody picking you up and throwing you 10 feet in the fucking air? Just that feeling, oh Jesus!
I would feel so emasculated. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Maybe also maybe slightly turned on. Maybe I don't know.
Big time boner.
Should we try? Should we try?
All
You
right.
made me real mad, but I'm so hard right now.
I am ready to bone.
Harder than a diamond in an ice storm.
This off to the right here, is that another path?
It is indeed. Be a wall. And what looks to be another path, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna just get to that corner and wait on everyone else. Let Archie get his boots and all that.
Yeah, I want to search the body with the boots. I want them boots. Give me the boot.
How are you gonna walk around this corner?
Oh, I'm hugging it. Well, that's a lie. I'm against the far end, just peering across, cutting the pie like I have been trying to do with.
Roll me a stealth.
That's a 9.
A 9, okay. As you sort of peer around this corner, you can't quite make out the whole. I'll show you what you do see, maybe about to there. Okay, so basically what you see is what looks to be, you don't know much about mining, but you do see what looks to be a pretty big blast furnace with these mechanical bellows. Basically what you're standing in now is about a 10-foot wide channel that's been cut into the floor of this room. So these walls here that you see on the left and the right are about 10 feet up. And you see a water wheel that's attached to these bellows. So it appears as if at one point water flowed through this channel you're standing in to power this water wheel and these bellows and this furnace. You do see, well, the furnace is cold, right? It's cold, dark. It doesn't look like it's been used in a while. You see like heaps of coal that's piled sort of nearby. There's carts that are full of this unrefined ore. And I didn't actually even reveal the furnace. I'll let you see the furnace. You can see the furnace. And you also see, as you saw before in several other rooms, there's more than a dozen sort of withered corpses that are scattered around the room. Slain dwarves, gnomes, still sort of wearing the remnants of their armor. And disconcertingly, some of these corpses are moving, as in like moving upright. And you see along this wall here, and you see one over here as well. Basically walking corpses. Even more disconcertingly, sort of floating above the channel, you see a skull that's giving off this green glow. It's engulfed in green flame.
Aptly named Flameskull.
Yes.
Flameskull.
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 I'm going to look back and tell my companions what is happening.
The zombies are sort of just mindlessly scuffling around. The floating skull is also sort of just floating around, sort of rotating and looking around. Nothing's making any aggressive moves towards you.
I don't know what my companions are. I mean, I don't know exactly if they're ready or anything behind me, but in this hallway in front of me, maybe 5-10 feet in front, I want to cast bonfire on the ground. So in order to get to me, they might have to pass through it just to have an additional barrier or something between me and them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have to. I'm not casting it at anything. It's just casting it on the ground.
Yeah.
So it just happens, and I'm just gonna wait on everyone else and see what's going on. In the event that they start moving at me, I'm just gonna prep Eldritch Blast.
Well, the rest of you are sort of, I guess, investigating the bugbear. From around the corner, all of a sudden you just hear, and you can see light as it, flickering from around the corner. You can't see the fire itself, the rest of you, but you can see the flickering of it.
Oh, yeah. Kid, did you just light something on fire?
Only the ground.
And very slowly, there's things take notice of it, and they're sort of shuffling forward.
Yep. Hey, we got company.
Right, yeah, probably because you started a fucking fire, you fucking jackass.
And if they start moving this way, which they are, I'm just gonna start Eldritch Blasting.
Yeah, that zombie up front actually managed to roll pretty high in his perception, so he does see you through the fire. So let's all roll initiative.
I rolled a 17.
Try 15. Moony, what did you get?
13.
So this young zombie is going to shuffle down, sort of fall. They're not exactly adept climbers, as you can imagine. Sort of fall into this channel. And he can't quite make it to the fire, but he can get right before it. But as that zombie, only Kid can see this. There is almost this sort of this crunching, cracking noise as its rotted bones sort of take some damage. You can see it's one of its ankles almost snaps, and it's sort of limping and dragging it forward with it.
Did it land, or is it near that fire, within 5 feet?
Yes, it is.
So it's a dexterity saving throw. Needs to beat 14.
Well, as we all know, zombies are quite dexterous. That is a nice big 6.
That is 12 points of fire damage.
12 points of fire damage. Alrighty. Still standing. Now you can smell burning, bubbling flesh as it gets closer and closer to this. You see this zombie sort of come out of the darkness that you can't see. You can only make it through that here, though. Likewise for this zombie. 20 can make it about there. And now it is... Nope, just kidding. This zombie is going to fall basically directly into the fire.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw.
And he's going to get right up here. Let me do the dex throw. That is a 19, actually. Or sorry, not 19.
Okay.
Minus 2. A 17. A 17.
He's still fine.
He is going to take 1d6 bludgeoning damage, though. And he's going to take a swing at you. And the rest of you now can see the zombie as it comes sort of shambling forward and attacking Kid. And that is a 15.
That misses.
So the zombie actually manages to get to you, and it sort of just is kind of scratching at your armor, basically and completely ineffectively. And it is now your turn.
Okay. Eldritch Blast, finger gun, right into that one.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit.
Fucking A. First one was only a 10 to hit.
10 hits.
What? Cool. All right. That is 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Alrighty. Still standing.
Okay, well, and then my second blast is a 24 to hit.
Also hits.
And that is going to be 16 points of damage.
16 points of damage. So you sort of blast 2 holes through it. Oh, yeah, there's no chance. Never mind. Okay, so that zombie collapses. He is a pile of gross mushy. Which brings us to Trump.
Zombie number 7. I'm gonna do Vicious Mockery.
Zombie number 7. I'm trying to think. I don't think you'd be able to see zombie number 7 from where you're at.
Can I make my way up towards the kid, peer around the corner, see him?
Yeah. That is a natural 1, which means it's a -1.
You don't have the guts to fight us. Obviously, I mean, if you look at yourself, you're just a bag of bones. You ain't got no guts. And he takes 7 points of damage.
It doesn't really seem like it comprehends what you're saying, but it still dies. Next up is our friendly neighborhood Flameskull. Flameskull is going to cast Fireball. It knows Trog is there from it just attacking. It sees Kib, who had just blasted one of the zombies, and it has these glowing red ruby eyes. It doesn't have much of an expression aside from the grinning sort of skeleton face, skull face. As it looks directly at you, you can see sort of this swirling ball of green fire coalescing, and it's going to shoot directly at you.
It's a saving throw, right?
I'm not totally sure, but I'm going to look it up right now. I believe it is, because it's an AoE.
Dexterity saving throw. I rolled a 19.
Yes. 19. Okay, I think, what's the radius? 20-foot radius. So if it hits Kid, it's actually going to hit everybody. So everyone needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Got a nat 20.
24.
I got an 18.
18. So everyone passes except Moony. Moony, you're going to take 30 points of damage.
Holy shit.
He's a pretty strong spellcaster.
All right, I am back to furball form, obviously, because Jesus.
And that's going to be his turn. Which brings us to Moony.
Oh, Moony doesn't know what to do now. Let me throw out an ice knife.
You'll have to move from where you are. You can't actually see anybody. You'll have to move into the channel.
Yeah. Ice knife. We are doing straight at the Flameskull. That is a.
You are gonna have to do the dex saving throw for the buff.
Oh, yep. I'll do that now. That's a fail on the bonfire saving throw.
It would be 11 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, definitely running after this.
Yeah, I purposely had pushed it into the next one to avoid this.
Ice knife at the Flameskull. That is a 19 to hit.
Should hit. Yeah,
and then it's up to you to see whoever else gets hit by the shards.
Is it 5 feet?
5 foot of the point where the ice exploded, and it's a dex saving throw.
I'll let that hit zombie number 6. That is a 12.
12 for which one?
They both need to do a dex saving throw.
Both need to roll.
Okay, so the zombie got a 12, and then the Flameskull got an 11.
Cool. Okay, they both fail. So, Flameskull will take 19 points of damage.
What kind of damage is that?
13 points of piercing, 6 points of cold.
Okay.
And then zombie takes 6 points of cold.
Zombie takes 6 points of cold. Got it.
And then I am immediately running out of the way, like closer to the well.
The well seems friendlier at this point.
At this point, yes. I am like close to dead.
So you guys see this shard of ice go flying off this skull that explodes. As the splinters sort of hit the skull, it doesn't seem like it does the full amount of damage, as the ice itself is kind of melting as it gets close to it. So it does take damage, but not the full amount. The zombie itself, you can see now shards of ice sticking out of its body. And now it is this zombie's turn. He's also going to do the same thing. He can get just right here with his movement. So he's going to take 1d6 bludgeoning.
And dexterity saving throw.
And the dex saving throw, which is going to be 13.
That is 10 points of fire damage.
Still standing. Gross smell of burning flesh still lingering in the air. Archie.
Shoot an arrow at a little Flameskull McGee. Actually, yeah. The old Flameskull. We'll shoot an arrow.
Yeah.
Flameskull. 18 plus 8, 26 to hit.
Does hit.
8 points of piercing.
8 points of piercing damage. So the arrow flies out and strikes it a bit off to the side of his forehead as sort of a chip of bone comes flying off the skull as your arrow connects.
And that's how I'll make my turn.
All right. Who is next? Zombie number 4. Going to fall into the hole. He can get about here to the side of the water wheel. He's going to take his bludgeoning damage. Make him fall in the hole too. Why not? They all need to jump in the hole eventually, right? Zombie number 1. Whatever, fall in the hole. He's going to just walk through the fire. He can actually make it to Archie. His dex saving throw is doesn't matter, like a 2.
Nice. That's going to be 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. Okay. And now that he's in range, he's going to take a swipe at Archie. Not good. A 10 to hit.
10 to hit? He does not
Yep.
hit.
So again, similar to what happened with Kid, it's sort of weak, flabby zombie arms sort of just scrape ineffectually against your chainmail or whatever you're wearing. I can't remember.
Leather armor.
Yeah, that's right. You hit the black leather armor. Which brings us to Kit.
Okay. I'm going to step forward here just so they can't move out of the range of that bonfire. if they keep moving. So that way they have to continuously end their turn, either in the fire or moving back to provoke an opportunity attack. I am going to do Eldritch Blast to the one who's attacking Archie.
Okay.
And that is a natural 1 on the first.
If that hit,
A 14 on the second.
that does it.
And that's going to be 11 points of damage.
And which one were you attacking? The one in front of Archie or the one in front of you?
Zombie 1.
Zombie 1. Okay. So again, you blast a hole through him and it collapses on the ground. Let me do one quick roll.
Yep.
You blast a hole through the zombie and it collapses on the ground. But then it sort of slowly picks itself back up with a gaping hole in its stomach. It sort of pulls itself back together in a way and then stands back up and is still menacingly standing in front of Archie. Which brings us to Trog.
How is Flameskull looking?
He's looking injured, but still relatively strong.
I'm gonna turn the corner and say moist. It's a dissonant whisper.
All right, what do I have to do with that?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
I mean, for a Flameskull, too, they probably despise what that word is, what it stands for.
Right.
8, but he has magic resistance, which gives him advantage on saving throws against spell. And that's a natural 20.
Son of a bitch.
This is for the bugbear you threw in a hole.
Yeah, 9 points of damage.
You notice as it doesn't take the full brunt of your spell, but you do see cracks starting to form on the surface of this grinning skull, whose turn it now is. He's going to cast Flaming Sphere, which works similar to Bonfire, and he's going to cast it sort of right here, catty corner to your Bonfire.
Yep.
So Flaming Sphere, 5-foot diameter sphere of fire. This also green, similar to the skull, sort of bursts into existence. Basically between Kid and the zombie number 2. And you guys can, particularly now with the Bonfire and the Flaming Sphere, you're starting to sweat. It's very fucking hot. And it works similarly to Bonfire. So anyone that ends their turn within 5 feet has to make a dex saving throw. So for right now, no one's taking any damage from it because you haven't ended your turn yet. After casting that, the Flameskull is going to... He's going to float up a bit higher. So now the Flameskull is basically touching the ceiling, which is about 30 feet in the air. And it's gonna move this way. And that'll be the end of its turn. Which brings us to Moony.
All right, I'm gonna do Healing Spirit, just right above all of us. 5-foot cube. All end my turn there, so that their next turns they'll get healed.
For a 5-foot cube, it can only be centered on one person. So you can do either Trog or Kid, but it wouldn't be able to.
I have no idea who's lower. I'm gonna go with Trog.
Okay, so Trog, you can do Moony. You do the healing, and also you can whatever the spirit looks like. Your choice.
Oh, we get to do this again. I kind of want one that looks like Elton John with just like really big sunglasses, and that's 4 points.
Okay, so Trog, you're going to heal for 4 points damage as Elton John comes sort of strolling up next to you. Zombie number 2 is going to just straight up walk into this sphere of fire. Doesn't give a shit. And take a swing at Kid. which is a 17. You are going to take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as the zombie's kind of wimpy little fist just sort of strikes you in the center of your armor. It will leave but a minor bruise the next day. And that'll be the end of his turn. The zombie number 2, as soon as he's done hitting you, he basically just bursts into flame as the heat gets to him and gets his skin. Let me roll his constitution real quick. Oh, it's another natural 1. So this zombie is dead. He is on fire. And oops, I just deleted the flaming sphere by accident. But the zombie's gone. And now it is Archie. Yeah, Archie.
All right. I'd like to put away my bow, pull out my special dagger. So glowy, and also my other non-glowy dagger. I'm going to try to slide between zombie one's legs, like stab him in the dick. I understand. I'm going to slide right
Okay.
Into the fire.
right into the fire. Stab him into the dick. Slide. I want to slide through the fire.
Okay. You'll still take damage from it, but you can do it.
Okay. So, and I'm going to double stab him in the dick.
Yeah, give me the attack roll. And then also the dex saving throw for the bomb.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so 23 for the first one. Oh, and 22 for the second one.
Yep.
Okay. And one of those is a sneak attack. 9 points of damage on the first effect. 6 points of damage on the second.
Goodbye, zombie number 1. These are slide underneath him and slice him underneath. You do get a little bit of rancid, gross zombie guts splattering down on you as you basically gut him as you go underneath, spray you on fire, which does do damage to you, presumably. But it also has the extra benefit of burning.
Right, zombie guts are burn off of me. And I rolled a 19 on my dexterity.
Cool. Good.
So you don't take damage, but the zombie guts do get burned off. So you're not covered.
Cool.
Guts. And that brings us back up to Kid.
Cool. I am going to do Eldritch Blast on the Flameskull. I have 120 foot range.
Yeah, you can.
And for the first, that is very cool. 22 to hit.
Hits.
And the second is not good. That is only a 9 to hit. So for the first one, I do 12 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my movement speed to... Oh, shit. As a bonus action, I'm going to drop my bonfire.
Okay.
And then I'm going to follow him and see if I can get to the other side of this flame sphere. And
it's only 15 feet of movement, so.
all right, yeah. In that case, I guess I'm just standing right behind Archie then.
Okay. How do you treat this Eldritch Blast with Flameskull? Its mouth has been the entire time sort of clacking, almost as if it's like laughing. And the Eldritch Blast this time sort of hits it square in the mouth. And you see now the green crackling energy of your Eldritch Blast sort of blends in with the flame coming out of the skull. But you see the cracks that had been forming on it after Trog's Dissonant Whisper spell. You can see the energy sort of glowing in between the cracks as it gets brighter, and the flame skull shatters, and the flame extinguishes as pieces of skull and little green embers are sort of floating into the ground, into this channel.
So does that put out the flame sphere then?
Yes, it does. So flame sphere is gone.
Cool.
And it is now Trog's turn.
Zombie number 5, Vicious Mockery. A guy, I'm sorry that when you go to the dance, you ain't got nobody to dance with.
He's a zombie, not a ghost.
He got like 2. So.
He has
That
no
is
soulmate.
6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. Again, the zombies don't really comprehend what you're saying to them. But as you say that, little pieces of his right flesh fall off his face, around his ears. Still standing. Zombie number 5, who just attacked. It was his turn before he was going to take this way, Archie. Since he's standing right next to him, that is a 15.
5 hits.
You are going to take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as the zombie that was just sonically assaulted by Frog swings out his arm at you and has this catchy sort of on your shoulder. No, Moony, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna still stay back a bit, but I'm going to move the healing spirit. This time place it on. That's all right. I'll just move it to Trog again, and you get another 5 points. And that's all I'm doing.
Okay. In which case, Archie, you are up.
Stab the little bitch that slapped me.
Come on, it's just a friendly punch on the shoulder.
18 to hit.
18 does indeed hit.
16 points of damage.
So basically, you just eviscerate this guy as his guts are spilling onto the ground. Let me roll his Constitution check real quick. Fails, which means he is done.
So, and then with my bonus action, I have 2-weapon fighting. So with my other dagger, I want to fucking stab zombie number 4.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
That is a dirty 20. Yeah, dirty
Does
20.
indeed hit.
6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. So you stab into his sort of fleshy body. It doesn't react with any kind of noticeable pain, but you did do some damage to it. And it is, in fact, zombie number 4's turn, because I totally skipped him in the last round because he had a 19 on his initiative. He's gonna swing at you, Archie, since you're right in front of his face, with a nice big 5.
In fact, surprisingly misses.
Yeah, so swings just straight over your head. Kid, you're up.
All right. I'm going to move to the corner of this channel.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast. On the first, that is an 11.
Hits.
Which is for 9 points of damage. And the second one is a 21, which is for 5 points of damage.
The zombie, you basically hit him against center mass flowing, comes off his body and holds into him as he starts to collapse to the ground. Let me do his contact real quick. 1, and he is collapsed into a pile of bones and meat. And that is the end of initiative.
So before we end, would I be allowed to use the healing spirit? I still have 5 heals left. Oh, yeah, I was going to see if I could do, since I have 5, could I do 2 on me and then 1 for everybody else?
If you call everyone, and they'll make their way back to you.
Get over here now.
Because the spirit can only move 30 feet so 30 feet every 6 seconds. So I'm God, yeah, I would say you can. It's pretty close. Anyway, so as you guys are cleaning up the rest of the zombies, you see this little elf John Fairy sort of flying around your head as you start to feel rejuvenated. Tiny dancer playing in the back of your mind.
No, I was going more Crocodile Rock.
Okay, Crocodile Rock in the back of your mind.
How much HP?
Kid, you get 5. Archie, you get 4. And Trog, you get 6. and then I got 11.
Well, that sucked.
Right, yeah, but we fucked that shit up, bud.
Yeah, alright. I guess it's time to keep moving on, and then we'll throw on the to be continued.